Hey, Cub fans! Welcome back to Randy Talks Cubs. Thanks for joining us. Cubs just took care of the Mets 1-0. What an amazing finish. It's so good, I'm going to start at that last play. And then we'll back up and I'll tell you all the juicy details on it. A lot of really good fun stuff tonight. But we're up 1-0. It's bottom of the ninth. Neris is in. He comes in with a clean inning, starts the inning, and he gets Wendell to ground out to Nico. Wendell replaced Francisco Lindor, I think in the third inning. Lindor went out with flu-like symptoms. So Wendell was in the game leading off the ninth, down one. Hector got him 4-3 to Nico. Then he tries to get in Alonso's kitchen, but Alonso's got all that hardware on his hands and elbows, and I'm not saying he leaned into it, but he wasn't really trying to get out of the way. Anyway, Hector hits him, so Alonso hit by pitch. Then J.D. Martinez hits a opposite field in the alley line drive, hit it really hard, and Pete Crow Armstrong gets there, and he gets it in his glove, but just before he runs into the fence in the right center field alley, sort of pops out. I expected him to make it because of what we've come to expect from him. Would have been a great play, but it popped out. So here we are, one out, up one, and the Mets have runners on second and third. The good news is they're two very slow runners. Alonso's on third, and Martinez is on second. So McNeil is up, and he hits I'm going to call it a lazy fly ball toward the left field line. Happ comes over. Happ was playing really shallow, so he comes over. He has to back up a little bit, so his momentum isn't coming in. It's actually going back just a little bit. But instead of trying to make the throw all the way home, he just gets rid of it quickly and hits Madrigal at third, and Mads turns it like a second baseman would, fires it into Amaya, and they get Alonso. It was a bang-bang play. They challenged it. They challenged the fact that maybe Amaya was blocking in the tag. It looked a little bit like Alonso beat it, but possibly his hand didn't quite get the plate. Either way, they confirmed it, I guess, is what it was. So Cubs, and it was a very long challenge. That's the other thing. I don't know. I didn't time it, but it went on and on. They really looked at it. And comeback call stands. Cubs win 1-0. So what a great game. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that happened. We're going to start with Shota. Oh my God, guys, Shota. I don't know. It's first of all, it's historic. It's too good to be true. It's too simple. When you watch him pitch, he's fastball up. Tonight he was about 91 miles an hour. It's fastball up, and it's splitter down, the occasional curve to throw him off, but he's north and south, and he's first pitch strike, and they can't hit the splitter, and they can't seem to get on top of that fastball. He works at the top of the zone. He's just a delight. So it's too good to be true. Let me give you some numbers. Shota came in to tonight's game at 4-0. We don't talk a lot about wins and losses here on Randy Talks Cubs. It's just I don't even like the rules of wins and losses. But for Shota, he's at 4-0 and 5 starts. He came into tonight's game with a .98 ERA in 27 2/3 innings, 19 hits, 3 earned runs, just 2 home runs, 28 strikeouts, only 3 walks. And here's a historic part for Shota before tonight. He's the first pitcher since 1901 to go 4-0 with an ERA under 1 with at least 25 Ks. First to do that in his first 5 starts. So in his first 5 starts, he set a record that last time it happened was 1901, that 123 years ago. It's historic. So then tonight, all he does, goes 7 innings, just gives up 3 hits, strikes out 7, walks 1, throws 87 pitches. His ERA is now down to .78 in 34 innings. I'm telling you, In fact, after I go through this, I'm going to talk about him and Javier Assad. Remind me to do that. I don't want to forget it. But Shota was fantastic. He goes 1, 2, 3 in the first, 12 pitches, 7 strikes. In the second, he gives up a walk and a hit. It took him 18 pitches to get out of that inning. Dansby made a nice 6-4 unassisted or a double play. He fielded the grounder, ran over and got second, and threw it on over to Bush. So a 6-3 double play. He gives up 1 hit in the third, but that hit it really shouldn't be, and I'm going to tell you about it. Morel made a really good play, but he had to back up on it a little bit, so he had to go toward the line, backed up, and he made the play, turns and fires, and unfortunately the ball is going to one-hop Bush. So I'll just ask you the question, what happened? Yeah, Bush didn't pick it. He can't pick it. So that was the hit that Shota gave up in the third. A really good play by Morel, really nice hard throw. Short hop Bush, he's not even close. So that was the hit in the third. Shota goes 1, 2, 3 in the fourth, 15 pitches. In the fifth, he gives up 1 hit. McNeil just had a bloop single, didn't get hit hard. Only took him 11 pitches to get out of the fifth. He goes 1, 2, 3 in the sixth and 1, 2, 3 in the seventh. So, spreads out 3 hits. One of them was the Morel hit that Bush should have picked. The other, McNeil, that bloop single. So, I don't know. I'm too good to be true. He's unbelievable. Shota Imanaga, my God. He had an interview recently, and I had this thought that I want to share it with you guys. And I don't know, it was a couple games ago, and the question posed to him was, are you surprised at your effectiveness to this point? And he said, not really. He sort of expected it because all these hitters haven't seen his stuff. And he said that he's not going to get too excited until he's kind of been through everybody once and they've got a chance to see him and start to adjust. Then he'll get a better read. And I thought that was very insightful for Shota. The pitching philosopher. Makes a lot of sense. These guys have not seen him, and his stuff is so interesting and so good and so different that I can see how he would expect to probably have that kind of success, maybe not at this level, but also to know that it's going to change once everybody sees him. So I just thought it was a very interesting insight for Shota. Mark Jr. came in, started the eighth. He strikes out Nimmo, and then Beatty hits a really strong hard line drive for a single, and then he walks Stewart on a splitter that faded down and away, and K-Zone had it on the corner, but the ump missed it and walked Stewart. So a couple of runners on and some righties coming up. So Council pulled Mark Leiter for Yancey. Yancey comes in, 1 out, 1 run lead, runners on first and second in the eighth inning, and just turns Taylor and Marte's lights out, bang, bang. So Yancey looked really good, put the fire out immediately. And then the ninth inning, Hector Neris, he comes in with a 23.9% walk rate as a closer, and I'm wondering how long can we sustain that, because he's not going to get through an inning clean. It's going to be interesting, and he made this one interesting. I mean, real close to blowing the save, real close, had runners on first and second and just 1 out, and we ended up getting out it with that very entertaining play to end it. But Shota Imanaga, guys, I'm glad we have him. It's going to be really interesting. All right, let's talk a little bit about the offense, or lack thereof, I guess. Let's do the lineups. Nico, second base. Talk was in right field again. Happer in left. Christopher at third. Bush at first. Dansby, short, hitting 6. Mervis, DHing tonight in the 7th hole. Amaya catching, and PCA in center field, hitting 9th. The run that we scored in the second inning, Mervis finally turned on one, and I'll talk about Mervis now. He goes 1 for 4 tonight, but in the fifth or the Yeah, the fifth inning when we scored the run, it was Mervis and PCA, and Matt Mervis finally turned on a ball. He hit at 111.7 miles per hour, line drive straight to right field. Starling Marte, who was back in the lineup for the Mets tonight, had no chance, and he hit it to the wall. And you see that, and it's sort of Morel-like, where he struggles, but then you just see this potential. 111.7 off the bat, and it was hit really hard, and you see that in him, but there's a lot of strikeout, there's a lot of rollover, and so I guess my point would be, I'm like, how much time do we give Mervis? What do we need to see? And I know it's early, and I got some numbers for us with him specifically. So fifth inning, Matt Mervis doubles off the wall, and then Mervis makes it to third on a wild pitch, bringing PCA up after Amaya flew out, 1 out. PCA had a nice at bat, got enough on it, sacrifice fly to right to score Mervis. So Mervis doubled, PCA sac fly to score it, and that was it. That was all the scoring. Nico went 2 for 3, had a stolen base, led off the game with a double, and really the only time we managed anything, first inning, Nico and Talk reached. Nico on a single and Talk walked, and then our 3, 4, 5 guys just go down. Hap chases, Morel pops up to the first baseman, and Bush pops up to the third baseman. Just very anemic. So Talk goes 0 for 3. He didn't get his double today. Hap went 1 for 4. Hap's hit was one of the most bizarre hits I've ever seen. Beatty, the third baseman, is playing close to shortstop. They kind of shift him quite a bit, so he's really far away from the line. And Hap hits this ball off his fist, backspin. It's like a pop-up, but he literally hit it like 44 miles per hour, like a little lob wedge. And so it hits about 3 or 4 feet behind the bag, and it's got that spin on it, so it kicks foul. By the time Beatty got there, he legged it out. So Hap went 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, and that 44-mile-an-hour lob wedge single is what he had tonight. Morel went 0 for 4. Madrigal came in for him, played defense in the 8th and the 9th. Morel's now hitting 207. Bush went 0 for 4. And Bush is now, I'll give the number, 4 for his last 34. He's looking bad. He's looking lost. He's got wide eyes. I talk about that look. They get this look in their eyes when they're not sure. Like, and I'm seeing that in Bush. Like he's pretty lost. Dansby came in hitting 194 in his last 11 games. He went 1 for 4 tonight. Dansby's really struggling. He got on his 7th with a little looper to left. He stole a base tonight, his 4th. We're starting to try to run a little more, but we probably need to because we're not putting enough hits together to score. Amaya went 0 for 2. He came in, I think, 1 for 19. So Amaya is slumping. PCA 0 for 2. So 5 hits, 3 walks, 13 strikeouts, 6 left on base. 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And we don't have anybody hot offensively. Everybody's in a slump. How in the world are we 19-12 pitching? That's it. We got Shota. We got Hassad. Well, that's it. So we really miss Seiya big time. Seiya was back taking some swings, so he looks like he may be 2 weeks out. So we're really struggling offensively. We're searching, and right now I don't really see the answer. I don't know where it's going to come from, other than we're going to have to probably win 1-0. Have somebody double and get a sac fly. It's pretty serious. So that's where we are. I got some news items I want to share with you. The first is Justin Steele pitched 3 1/3 innings in Iowa today. gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, struck out 4, walked 1. Really, the good news is he threw 63 pitches. And my source tells me that he got more locked in as he went. And his fastball was topping out somewhere in around 91, averaging between 88 and 91. So I imagine he wasn't going full go. But the good news was he threw 63 pitches. He looked like he got more locked in as he went along, and he gave up the 6 hit. But the exit velocities on those 6 hits had one at 75, one at 83, one at 90, and a couple at 92. So they weren't rockets. They weren't hit hard. So that's good news. I don't know if that's enough. If they're ready to, he's threw 63 pitches, if they're ready to bring him back, or if they're going to go one more. But that's good news with Justin Steele today. Kyle Hendricks is scheduled to make a rehab start in Tennessee tomorrow. So I don't know what that is. I don't know. What's he going to have to do before he gets another shot? I don't know. If I was in charge, I wouldn't. I don't know. We got the Brewers coming up, and I was doing a little bit of research, sort of prepping for the scouting report piece that I'll do here shortly. And it struck me that the Brewers were in another bench-clearing altercation with the Rays yesterday. Their manager has been suspended, and that's the third time that the Brewers have had a bench-clearing brawl, a melee, a brouhaha, a baseball fight. So I don't know what's going on, but Abner Uribe, their pitcher, was pitching to Jose Siri. Jose Siri just hit a ground ball to the first baseman, and Uribe went over to cover, and they kind of, were there, and, they looked at each other and said something. Next thing you know, Uribe threw a punch, and here they come. So I don't know what's going on with the crew, but that's 3 times just in the first 4 weeks of the season. I thought that was interesting. I wanted to talk to you about Javier Assad. Javier Assad's 1.69 ERA is the third best in the league now. Minimum of 30 innings required. And I just was watching that because Shota came in with 27 2/3, so he was shy of the number of innings to qualify. Well, now Shota blows that away. Shota's ERA of .78 now. That's amazing. So Javier is 1.69, but he's not even the best on his team. Boy, those two guys. Boy, if we can get Steele back and Tyone stays healthy, that's a good front four, right? Yeah, because it looks like Javi and Shota are the real deal. We know what Steele is, and I think JMO just has to stay healthy. So, boy, if that comes to fruition, we're going to be in pretty good shape. I got another one for you. Luis Vasquez. If you're unfamiliar with Luis, he's a 24-year-old shortstop in our system. He's playing at Iowa, and he's been with the organization for several years, and he's always been a glove-first infielder. And many have said he's the best infielder in the system. So shortstop, he can play shortstop. And over the last year and a half, 2 years of his career here in the minor leagues, his bat has come on. So all of a sudden, this light-hitting defensive first shortstop, Luis Vasquez, is become a hitter. I'm going to give you his numbers. Iowa so far, he's got 89 at-bats. He's hitting .348 with a .422 on base. He's slugging .528, OPS .950, 3 home runs, 7 doubles. And like I said, he can play shortstop. So I just kind of thought, at some point you're going to have to give that guy a shot. He's on the 40-man roster. He's doing this. We're not hitting, right? At some point you're going to have to give him a shot. I'm just wondering when we might see him. So I wanted to share it with you guys. If you're unfamiliar with Luis Vasquez, get familiar with him, because I would imagine we're going to have a look at him. You can't ignore these numbers. And I just compared him with, Madrigal. Madrigal's got 36 at bats this year. He's sitting sub 200. He's got an on-base percentage of 256, a slug of 250. So if Luis Vasquez can play short, and if they want to feel comfortable where they can replace Morel in late innings, well, Luis Vasquez can probably do that maybe better. And I just think we're going to have to see him. So if you're unfamiliar with Luis Vasquez, there's a video here on the channel. Go ahead and look for it. I did a profile on Luis Vasquez, 2 or 3 months ago. But that's just very intriguing to me. Just something that we can look for. And I mentioned Brad Wick. Wick had another outing, went another clean inning and 2/3 today. His ERA's down to 1.38 in 13 innings. So Wick is looking good too. So kind of keeping our eyes on what we might have available. Those are a couple players that we might want to pay attention to. Jordan Wick's his forearm it's doing much better. It doesn't seem like it's serious, and they put him on the disabled list more as a precaution. So being overly cautious with it, especially this early in the season, which I understand. But it doesn't seem like it's anything serious. So, if we can get Jordan Wicks back, Steele back, it's the rotation is starting to look like it's coming together. We're still light on the closer situation. I don't think we can go into the future with a closer who's got a 24% base on ball rate. I don't know that that's sustainable. I don't think it would be. And the other thing is Mervis got that hit tonight, and I was just looking at some of the numbers. Reviewing Mervis in 2023, he had 90 at-bats in that stint. In the 90 at-bats, he hit 167 with a 242 on base and a 289 slug. His OPS was 531, and he struck out 32 times and walked 8. So that's a 4-to-1 ratio. Coming into tonight, he's got only 18 at-bats, so it's not even close to what they gave him last year. But all these numbers are down. Average was 111. On base was 158. Slug was 111. OPS is 269, and he struck out 4 times and walked once for a 4-to-1 ratio. So, I talked about he looks the same as he did last year, and the numbers sort of indicate that. The only thing that's different right now in terms of Mervis is they gave him 90 at-bats last year before they sent him back. And now he's got, with tonight, he's got 19, 20, 21, somewhere in there. So now we'll see what goes on with that situation. And, I still can't believe it. We are 19-12, and our offense, everybody's in slump. Everybody's been slumping for a week more. And we just keep figuring out a way. So we'll do it again tomorrow. We've got a matinee tomorrow with the Mets to wrap up the 4-game set. We'll have Ben Brown going against Hauser, 1:10 New York time. So we'll finish it out. And we got a huge weekend series coming up with the Crew this weekend. And that's going to be really something. Wrigley, it's going to be hopping this weekend, so be really nice to get this one tomorrow and take this series, come home and get ready for the Crew and make it happen. So, guys, thanks for joining me here on Randy Talks Cubs. Really appreciate you guys checking me out, and we'll talk to you soon. Go Cubs, go.